Recently, I made a video on Kent Hovind where he attempted to explain all of the lies in textbooks. Regrettably, Kent immediately took issue with this and decided to review my video on his popular series Whack an Atheist. Yes, this is about the 15th time I've been on it now. Here we go. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a huge thank you to the sponsors of the video today, Boot.dev. Boot.dev is building the smartest way to learn back-end development by tackling the hardest thing with e-learning, boredom. The folks at Boot.dev believe the smartest way to learn code is to make sure you're never bored. Boot.dev is online, self-paced and feels like a captivating RPG game. You will learn back-end web development from start to finish in the Python and Go programming languages. And it's designed to get you writing a ton of code, because getting your hands on the keyboard and shipping projects is the only real way to learn. You will earn XP, levels, achievements, and complete quests to get top spots on global leaderboards. At Boot.dev, they believe that learning code is not a get-rich-quick scheme. They believe in going deep and taking time on the fundamentals, so that you are as prepared as you can be for your job search. And programmers actually have amazing earning potential. According to Stack Overflow, the median salary for back-end developers in the US in 2023 is over $100,000. Of course, not everyone has the means to pay for a membership, so all of their content is free to read and watch in guest mode. A paid membership unlocks interactivity and the game that goes with it. Click the link in the description box and use my code SIMONDAN to get 25% off your first payment towards Boot.dev. That's 25% off your first month or your first year, depending on which subscription you choose. Right, on with today's video and the ever interesting Kent Hovind. We join Kent as he starts to watch my video and he's in a pretty bullish mood. Away we go.
All the books are about that. This is line number one we covered earlier. The Earth is simply not billions of years old.
Every single piece of evidence regarding the age of the Earth completely contradicts that statement, Kent.
Dan, every single piece of evidence contradicts that statement. Dan, the Earth is spinning, but the Earth is slowing down. That puts a time limit. It cannot be infinitely old. It cannot be billions of years old.
Kent, the Earth is slowing at an incredibly slow rate. The length of a day increases by 1.8 milliseconds every 100 years. That means for a day to increase to 25 hours, 4.8 billion years would have to pass. I think that ruins your argument a bit there.
The moon's getting further from the Earth an inch and a half in a year. It cannot be billions of years old.
50 billion years until it escapes Earth's gravity. I think we're fine on that one.
The sun is burning up its fuel, Dan. Go step outside and look at it. It's burning up a lot of fuel. It can't be billions of years old.
Still around 5 billion years of fuel left, Kent, and the sun's about halfway through its life. You do your maths on that one.
I go through about 30 different ways to prove that your Earth cannot be billions of years old on my video number one of this creation seminar series, The Age of the Earth. I know you need billions of years to hide your dumb religion in. Pretend like we had billions of years. You don't have billions of years. So don't say every bit of evidence goes against what I said. The evidence is overwhelming. The Earth cannot be billions of years old, Dan. You are lying or you're stupid. Okay? How's that?
That's quite funny, but you are wrong. All of your evidence is incorrect, as I just explained. Radiometric dating of rocks, which however hard you try, can't be debunked.
Radiometric dating can easily be debunked. It has been many times.
Well, you say this, but you also say that the Earth is slowing and that's why it can't be billions of years old.
Watch my video number 7, Dan. I talk about radiometric dating is based on obvious assumptions. You don't know the initial content of those objects. You don't know the initial rate of carbon-14 or carbon-13 or potassium-argon or potassium decays to argon, iridium strontium. You don't know any of those things.
You don't need to know the initial amount of an object, Kent. Radiocarbon dating, for example, relies on measuring the amount of carbon-14, which is an isotope of carbon, present now, as a fraction of the total carbon found in the sample. Dear oh dear, Kent.
You don't know the decay rate's been the same. You don't know there's been no contamination. We know there are things that affect the decay rate. You need to watch my video 7, Dan, and get up to speed on your dating methods. None of those can be proven to prove the Earth is billions of years old.
Kent putting it out there that he can literally debunk half-life. Amazing.
Let him go here a little further.
Dating of meteorites. Yes, even the stuff outside of Earth is that old too.
dating of meteorites. So a meteor lands on the Earth, and you're going to do what to it? How are you going to tell the age of it? Are you going to watch my video 7, Dan? I debunk all of that. Okay, I'm sorry, you're simply wrong.
You can't keep saying, watch my video 7. That doesn't help at all. Helioseismology and other stellar observations suggest that the sun is 4.6 billion years old.
Stellar observations suggest it's 4.6 billion years old. It's been losing 5 million tons a second and shrinking about 5 feet an hour for billions of years. You need to get up to speed on your science, Dan.
Yes, the sun loses 4.3 billion kilograms of mass per second. So what? That's like me peeing in the ocean and saying it's going to make a difference to its volume. The sun has a mass of 2 times 10 to the power of 30 kilograms. At that rate of mass loss, the sun will still be here in 40 billion years. Of course, that's not how the sun will evolve and die. But my point remains that his argument is weak here. Which describe beautifully how mountain ranges are formed over tens of millions of years.
Mountain ranges can also be formed in a matter of weeks with rapid plate tectonics.
That would not be a mountain range. Mountain ranges require sustained tectonic forces over a long period of time. They can't shoot up in a matter of weeks, Kent.
I agree, the plates of the Earth are moving. I think they all started at Noah's flood, when the fountains of the deep broke open. I agree there's movement of the plates, and there's earthquakes and volcanoes along there. I taught Earth Science 15 years. You want to have a debate on that, Dan? Call me. Let's talk about, does plate tectonics prove the Earth is billions of years old? Call Joseph, 855-BIG-DINO, or email him, techsupport@drdino.com. I'll take you on, Dan.
Email him? Not today, but you never know.
Again, and again, and again, as many times as you need, till you finally learn. Actually, I'm probably concerned more about your soul than you are. You're going to die and face God one day, Dan, and you're leading many people astray, as we'll see in your comments in a minute.
The good thing about that is, you are wrong. However, I can guarantee that the history I've learnt about you, Kent, I am a kinder person.
Wait a minute. Just saying there was an infinitely dense point does not answer the question about where matter came from. It violates the first law of thermodynamics. Matter cannot be created or destroyed. But they just want to they want to skip that step. You broke the law in your first sentence. There is no Big Bang. That's not science.
The Big Bang Theory, whilst poorly named, is the best theory we have right now on the origin of the universe.
No, it is not.
Well, it is, Kent. That is an objective fact. And by the way, I should have said you were wrong about the first law of thermodynamics. That refers to energy, not matter itself.
The best theory is somebody must have made it.
I see the problem here. Your definition of best is not the best.
Like a god. That's the best theory, Dan. Why do you say it's the best theory? Best theory you're willing to look at because you don't want God telling you what to do you, Dan?
No, I think I don't need him to tell me what to do. I am good without God, something which you seem to think is impossible. Now, it does not address the origin of the universe from nothing, but rather describes the universe's evolution from its earliest known state.
That's not its known state, okay? You're making that part up. It's imagination again. I better park this right up here. Dan, this is going to be you all night, okay? You and SpongeBob. So that's not the earliest known state. You can't know any of those things. That's all religion, Dan, way back there. You can't go back in time.
Actually, you sort of can. The cosmic microwave background is a glimpse to the past. And that's because it's a snapshot of the universe when it was around 380,000 years old. Light takes time to travel, Kent. You know this.
Okay, get some more here.
The first law of thermodynamics, energy can't be created or destroyed, has its roots in classical physics. The conditions at the beginning of the universe do not apply here.
So it's different laws for the universe. Isn't that what the Creationist says? God, somebody outside of time, space, matter, created time, space, matter. Has to be different laws. Has to be a beginning. Tell you what, Dan, when did time start? Where did space come from?
From the singularity that caused the Big Bang. And it's been expanding ever since.
Who created time and space? Is there a beginning? If time is infinite, both directions, past, present, future, then we can't even be to here yet. We couldn't be to the here and now because you got to go infinitely back. You have a religious belief, Dan. I wish you would admit it. So do I. I admit I believe God did it. I believe that.
More the quantum mechanics relativity issue. That first law of thermodynamics requires a pre-existing framework of time and space.
There you go. We require a pre-existing God, Dan.
Yeah, but a pre-existing God is something you can't prove. Time and space is pretty easy to prove, to be fair.
Why don't you admit yours is a religion? You can't do that because you like tax funding for your religion to be taught, don't you?
Something that was not there before the Big Bang.
Don't call that science. We began from a dot and say this is religion, that God created the world. They're both religious. I admit, we have a religion. I believe God did it. I didn't see it. I couldn't prove it scientifically. I can't reenact it, but I believe it.
The Big Bang theory is grounded in empirical evidence and scientific observation. It is
like what? Call Joseph to debate on that, Dan. I challenge you. Okay, challenge all your listeners. Any of you. I want to. Let's all of you line them up. Let's do 2 debates every day, Joseph. Anytime. I'll change my schedule. Two a day. I got to get to 1,000 before I die. Please help me out, guys. Come on. You love your religion so much. Defend it against poor little Kent Hovind with an unaccredited degree. Yeah, go ahead. I should be easy picking.
At least he admits it, I suppose.
Bring it on. Goliath thought David was easy picking too, didn't he? Mm-hmm.
Who's Goliath in this scenario, Kent? And the distribution of elements in the universe. Religious
Wait a minute. The Big Bang explains the distribution of elements in the universe? Yeah, according to your Big Bang religion, it made hydrogen and maybe some helium and a little tiny bit of lithium. Where'd all the gold, silver, platinum, and uranium come from?
Stars. That burned for hundreds of millions, if not billions of years.
You think that formed from nuclear fusion of the hydrogen? I wish I could make gold out of hydrogen. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. Gold. That's blacktop where I'm going. Okay.
Creation is pure, 100% unadulterated faith.
So is evolution.
Nope, that's it, I'm done. I can't listen to any more of Kent today. He's really not a happy bunny today, is he, poor Kent? Maybe I will email him. But I've got a slightly different topic in mind though. But for now, we are all done and dusted for another Tinfoil Tuesday. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of Kent's rebuttal there. Was it any good? Did he make any good points? Let me know. Thanks so much though for watching today's video. It truly is appreciated. If you enjoyed it, please do consider subscribing to the channel. 50% of you that watch are not subscribed. Please do, because we're on the march to 600,000 subscribers. And of course, if you really enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button as well. Just enough time to once again thank boot.dev for sponsoring today's video. Remember, click the link in the description and use my code SIMANDAN to get 25% off your first payment towards boot.dev. That's 25% off your first month or your first year, depending on which subscription you choose. I've been SIMANDAN. Have yourselves a cracking day, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the return of the Flat Earth meme debunking videos. See you then.